Hi, welcome back to EasyBreakdance.com, your online guide to the dance, art form, culture, and the battle. I'm Dizzy of the Supernaturals crew, and this episode is a step-by-step guide to finding your local b-boy scene and getting submerged in the b-boy culture. If you have watched the previous 4 episodes, then you should already be working on your b-boy flavor, formula, and approach to the music. You should already know how to properly cypher and have begun not only finding your technique, but also creating many variations, thus building yourself an arsenal of moves for battle. If you have not yet watched the first 4 episodes and began working on them, please do so now before continuing. If you have already done so, then let the lesson begin. Hip-hop and b-boying is a culture and a lifestyle of developing your skills, gaining a reputation, earning your proper respects, and leaving a legacy by changing the game in your local community, your region, the entire country, and the whole world. Now that you have already been developing in your skills, it's time for you to start repping, which means representing to earn a reputation. This is where you will start showing off your skills and your confidence to let people know who you are and what you're capable of. Back in the days, the only way to find another b-boy was to go to a party, and when the right type of music came on, you would either see someone start breaking, or you would open up the circle yourself. These days, every scene has community organizers who create b-boy competitions for the local community to participate. Now that you've begun training, it's time to get ready to compete. A b-boy or b-girl competition is usually a bracket tournament elimination contest, which varies in different formats such as full crew battles, solo battles, 2-on-2s, and everything in between. These types of tournaments range in different sizes, venues, and production levels, and the vast majority are one-off annual events. This means that you will first need to research the local or nearest b-boy scene by searching on the internet, going to local open practice spots, or hitting up dance studios looking for breaking lessons. You can do some research on the instructor to see which crew he or she represents and what competitions were won. If the teacher seems legit, after taking a class, you can ask the instructor to point you in the right direction to find the nearest local breaking scene. Once you have found the local b-boy scene, earned a bit of rep in the ciphers, or consistently been going to a local practice spot, you may or may not have found a group of people that you could break with, or eventually form or join a crew. Once you have found some other b-boys or b-girls to train with, you may now be ready to begin considering entering competitions. If you don't have anyone to enter with, the only option you have is to enter a one-on-one battle. Entering local competitions is a great way to build a rep and thus meeting new people who may become your future crew or rivals. So with that said, I'll save the lesson on how to start building or joining a crew for the next episode. So here are the basics on competing in b-boy and b-girl competitions. Step 1. Find an upcoming event with a suitable competition format to enter. All b-boys and b-girls rely on waiting to hear about upcoming competitions. If you find out who are the main promoters in your local b-boy scene, you can follow their event pages or subscribe to a local forum or group page. Step 2. Research the rules and format. The things you will need to know are how many rounds you need to prepare. Many times, you won't know until the day of. For prelims or qualification rounds, it's usually 1 to 2 maximum. For top 16 or 8, you may need to prepare 1 to 2 rounds. Semi-final battles, you will most likely prepare 2 or 3 rounds. Now the final battle is usually 2, 3, or up to 5 rounds. So, the absolute maximum amount of rounds you would need is about 15 rounds, while the minimum average is 8 to 10 rounds. Of course, there are the rare events that require more or less. Make sure to check if the event has a mandatory pre-registration policy. Step number 3. Go to the event and register or sign in. When arriving on time to the event, make sure to register for your specified competition list, giving your b-boy name and or crew name. Once all registered, you should then go to the next step, which is step number 4. Warm up in the ciphers or on the side. While waiting for your category to be called, you should be taking this opportunity to get your body ready for the big moment. Many people get nervous before getting on the dance floor, So make sure to shake off those nerves by jumping into ciphers and using that moment to get into your zone. Or perhaps for some b-boys, it's easier to get into the zone by finding a private place to run through the prepared rounds. Once your name has been called, it's time to move on to the next step, which is step number 5. Make an impression on the judges for the prelims. Your prelim round is probably one of the most important rounds. This will determine whether or not you will get the chance to battle. Use this moment to showcase what you do best. Don't try to tick boxes. It's better to show quality and your speciality rather than show a variety that exposes any weaknesses. For example, if power is your specialty, focus on that. If footwork isn't your strongest point, you can show that you can do it too, but keep it to a minimum. But your most important goal is to get the judges to remember you, whether it be by your special skills, your charisma, a little gimmick, or even the clothes you wear. Getting the attention of the judges is important as they are watching many contestants and sometimes for long periods of time. Many b-boys don't make it through, but whether you do or don't, be prepared by going on to the next step, which is step number 6. Learn proper b-boy competition etiquette. In this point of your career, you are at an advantage because in the sense that whoever you're battling doesn't know what style, moves, or skills you have. You can take this opportunity to set the pace and start the battle. Of course, once the music starts and you feel it, don't hesitate to go first and set the standard. Get into your confident b-boy attitude and remember, this is a battle to bust egos. Once your round is over, make sure to back up to your side and get out of the way to let your opponent dance. Try not to turn your back to your opponent and remember to portray a high level of confidence even when it's not your turn. If you have a second or third round, you can use your opponent's last round to inspire what you are going to do next. Having a good response to your opponent's style, moves, or concepts is always helpful to winning over the judges, the crowd, and even your opponent. Now, whatever happens, do not disrespectfully touch your opponent or interfere with his or her turn. Doing so can get you disqualified from the battle. Don't shake hands with your opponent until after the judge's decision, unless the battle was so good and close that it does not matter to you who the judges vote for. Repeat this process until the very end or until you have been knocked out of the tournament bracket. Once you have been eliminated, you can go to step 7, which is step number 7, learn from every battle. Every battle that you are in should teach you what you need to do better. The first feedback you should listen to is your heart. Think and feel what you could have done better and what you will do differently the next time you enter a battle. Take the opportunity to introduce yourself to the judges, thank them for judging, and ask them for any advice. Don't feel badly if they don't remember you as they may have been judging a long time. Ask them what do they normally look for and listen to their opinion. It may open your mind up to a new perspective. Also, get feedback from any friends or people you know, but remember to take criticism with a grain of salt. If you feel you were wronged, robbed, and weren't given a decent reason, you can always look to settle the score in the Cypher as explained in episode number 2, called Cypher Basics 101. If you can record your battles, that is a great way to look back at your footage and analyze yourself. Anyway, that's it for Breakin Competitions 101. Thanks everyone for joining us here on EasyBreakdance.com, your one-stop source for the dance, art form, culture, and the battle. I'm Dizzy of the Supernaturals crew, and remember, impossible is temporary.